Something is changing in the world, and most people can feel it in their bodies long before they can explain it with words. This series exists to make sense of that feeling. Not from prediction, not from fear, not from spiritual trends, but from what actually happens when human nervous systems are pushed past what they were designed to hold. I've been watching this unfold for years, in my clients, in my own body, and in the systems we're all trying to survive inside of. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. I'm going to tell you exactly why this series was born. And it's not because of a prophecy, a prediction, or a spiritual trend. It's because I've spent years watching people unravel. Not because they're broken, but because the pressure we've been living under is no longer compatible with the human nervous system. I've watched it from every angle. As a nurse, as a healer, as an intuitive, as someone who sits with people in their deepest truth, and as someone who's walked through my own breakdowns, breakthroughs, and recalibrations. At some point, after enough clients, enough stories, enough patterns repeating themselves, something clicked. A bigger picture started forming, and I couldn't ignore it. People aren't collapsing. People are dysregulated. And dysregulation at scale looks like a world falling apart. There are a lot of theories out there about what's coming. Human design's 2027 shift, astrological ages, energetic transitions, collective awakenings. We're going to name them in this series, and we're going to explore them, not as prophecy, not as truth, but as frameworks humans have used to make sense of moments like this, because whether it's 2027 or 3027 doesn't actually matter. What matters is what's happening right now when you walk through a grocery store and you look at people's faces. What matters is the fear, the fragmentation, the overwhelm, the shutdown. We don't need a prediction to tell us something's shifting. We can feel it in our bodies. My intuitive insight, my medical training, and the lived data from hundreds of clients all point to the same thing. If we want humanity to move forward, if we want to change the direction we're heading, if we want coherence instead of chaos, it starts with the individual nervous system. A regulated human becomes a stabilizing force. One conversation, one boundary, one moment of truth at a time. That's why this series exists. Not to sell you a timeline, not to sell you human design, not to sell you certainty. It exists because after everything I've seen, medically, intuitively, human to human, this is the clearest message I can offer. We are in a great reveal. Everything false, outdated, conditioned, and survival-based is coming to the surface. And we are in a great recalibration. Every nervous system is being confronted with the truth of what's actually mine, what's not, and who am I going to be moving forward. This is the backbone of my work, the Look Within method. Reveal, regulate, recalibrate. Every client walks this arc. I've walked this arc, and whether we like it or not, humanity is walking it too. The Great Recalibration is not an event. It's not a prophecy. It's not a spiritual deadline. It's the process of becoming someone you can actually live with. Someone who can think clearly, feel deeply, and stand in truth without collapsing. This series is my best understanding, built from my lived experience, my medical background, my intuition, and the patterns I've witnessed in people over the past few years. It's not dogma. It's not doctrine. It's not something to believe in. It's a map, a framework, a grounded perspective on what it means to be human in a time when everything is shifting. And if you're here, you can feel it too. This is the Great Reveal and Recalibration, and this is where we begin.